Oops. The URL in the description was still pointing to the memory project. I just changed it to point to the correct transform project. Yep, I did a little bit offline. So the wrong rotation and stuff is now fixed. So this is 200 pixels. Well, the length is equal to 200 pixels if you go horizontally anyway. So this is 200 pixels. And this is the half of that. And currently rotated by 45 degrees. Change that back again to what am I doing here? So I think that what is fixed here is this point. I mean, this length is fixed, this length is fixed. This coordinate system is simply the center of the window. And then if the thing was not rotated, then this is also the center of the rectangle. So if we set the rotation to 0, it's just like this, and then this is the center of that thing. And then it is rotated clockwise 30 degrees around the top left point, which is the coordinate system in which we have been drawing. And the y-axis is positive if you go down. That is for the window the case. 0, 0 is up here top left. And the same holds for the unrotated painter coordinate system. So I just did draw a rectangle with 200 and 100 as coordinates, and in terms of pixels, so positive and positive. Except that I didn't use 100 and 200. I used whatever I needed to use to get these length pixels, because this coordinate system is using the same scale as this coordinate system, which is scaled relative to the pixel coordinate system, such that this is 0, 0, and this is -1. So 0, -1, and 0, +1. And the aspect ratio of everything is maintained. So this is less than -1 and more than +1, because the window is not square. And yeah, we want to see that. So now I want to have, let's say, a few tick marks on the green thing, that you can see that this is -1 and this is the other way around actually. This down is still positive. So here's +1 and here's -1. And then if this length is 1, then about here is the +1 on the red one. I think this is 0.444444, so 0.88888, so there's the +1, I suppose. Now, a problem of this is well, to find out how many ticks, and then what the distance is between the ticks. Or we can just do that in the coordinate system itself. So for example, if I want to have -1 and I don't want to have 0 ticks between, I don't want to have 1,000 ticks in between, I probably want to have about 5 ticks in between. And then we just know the coordinates or the distance in the respective coordinate system itself at which we want ticks. And then converting that to pixels is easy. And for the rest we just draw it. For a rotated coordinate system, I mean, that then also applies to the green coordinate system, of course, but well, the red one is the more difficult one. In order to determine how many ticks I want to use, I might want to know how long this side is. But then again, if I put a lot of ticks here, then I probably want to use the same ticks over there. So maybe I should just concentrate on the total length that we have here and divide that into as many parts as I need, which then would be maybe 10-ish, because, well, 5 on that side and 5 on that side. But this one is shorter, so then we'll get probably maybe 4 ticks on this side and 6 on that one, or something like that. Okay. Now I have to find out where this code goes. That determines how many ticks we want to use. And that must be in the neighborhood of where I know how long those pieces are. My music is a little bit too loud. Let me turn it down there. And I have no clue. What do I look for? Oh yeah, the intersections. So I can grab for hyper, for example, also. So hyperplanes. Okay, so this is done in coordinate system.h. And this is commented out though. There's a lot commented out here. Yeah, this is not commented out. Okay, so here's hyper intersections, hyperplanes being used. I could have just looked for intersections. And then this is the place where I know the length. So if we run over all axes, well, I only have 2 axes, obviously. So this is I'll run over once for the x-axis and once for the y-axis. I'll do some mathematical magic, and then we get intersections between the current axis and the rectangle that makes up the window. So for each axis we find 2 points, either on horizontal, either an intersection with a horizontal line when it's the bottom or the top, or a vertical line when the axis goes through the edges, left and right. I don't really care where, I just need those 2 points. If there is nothing, I might check if that works, because the result of nothing is a continue, which means this is not filled at all. So then I end up with a line piece. That is with a default constructed math line piece. Well, one that should not be on initialized memory. And 2, I should handle that correctly. No line piece then, or default constructor line piece means I don't want to draw anything. Let's check that first. I don't think I tested it, but so a math line default constructor math line piece. This is a GUI window line piece, math line piece. Default constructed is a 2 default constructed points, and that would be a math point, I bet. Default constructed is uninitialized, so that's not acceptable. I can't even detect it. Let's make them equal. I could, for example, use twice 0 in there, which means that we can't use the default construction. We have to use this and then twice use a point which has 0, 0. And well, that is just not the case. I mean, an array, I am not, yeah, no. I mean, it's just currently default constructed. That is pretty typical for an array. So I think the correct solution here is to, before continuing writing something. So I'm going to write, now 0, 0 is the origin, so let's call it origin. I'm going to write origin, which then means don't draw this, don't use this axis, because it's outside of the window. I'm going to add a comment, because it's a special encoding, right? Using the origin twice means this line segment is outside the window. Don't draw or show it. Now, still need the origin. Let's do that outside the loop. Could do it inside the loop. Well, let's put it here. Why not? It's not going to happen that often. So that should be a math point, obviously. And yeah, we have to create it by passing stuff. I'm actually going to do it like that. So could make it static, can make it const, everything works. Okay, now having done that, it also must still be, no, it must be detected. So where are we using a line piece? Display, well, that's probably the one then. This is the declaration of line piece, and here I'm filling it. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not filling it yet. I'm creating a line piece here, but the whole idea was, of course, that we write. Okay, now this seems the only place where it is being used. So drawing a line from 0, 0 to 0, 0 is probably not visible anyway, but yeah, I just don't want to draw it at all. So something like Boolean. Outside window. So I'm just going to use this, I think. Equals. I mean, that holds as well. I'm gonna change it because I used the word visible. How about is visible? And then we use unequal. If not visible, continue. Okay, so use the origin twice. Well, not necessarily origin now. Using twice the same point means that the line segment is not visible. It's outside the window, whatever. No, that should be enough. Okay, so if it is visible, now we have a length. How do I get the length? I already have it here, the length. Visible length array in pixels. I could have used that as well, actually. So I initialize this one, but I also initialize visible length array in pixels. If that is 0, then it's also not visible. But yeah, also not initialized. Suppose I could store 0 in this by default. Oh, I think I changed my mind then. Yeah. Initializing this to all zeros is easier. I think you just do that and now it's filled with zeros. And we don't have to do this. It's just the way it is. Oh, wait a minute. I want to use that comment. Zero initialize to mean that the line segment is not visible outside the window. And then here we can do is visible. Oh shit, that's not stored. This is a local array. Okay, now it depends on if I need a length outside that initial function. Suppose you can do all the ticks calculation here already. To a certain extent, that is. Display is the one that has to display it. Maybe just storing the number of ticks is sufficient. I think that's what I do. Yeah, this has to be, I don't know. We're gonna have a non-local array, obviously. This has to be moved in somewhere else again. Okay, I can't write that part yet then. I'm going to try to calculate the number of ticks that we want. So at this point I do have the length at least. I'm using a size, so I think that then the visible length in this coordinate system, width is the visible part of the x-axis, and the height is the visible part of the y-axis. So that's what we have here, and then I need to calculate the number of ticks, as I keep saying. Coordinate system is talking about ticks as well. That, which class is this? That is coordinate system. Range ticks. Okay, so apparently the thing what you have to do is fill this array. I believe that is then the number of ticks that go inside the given range, so I have to fill range as well. Even that is not filled yet. I have a set range though. Aha, look at that. So if I call set range with the correct range, then the range ticks is also calculated already. So I have to call set range. So actually I just need to find out the range. Okay. Clamp to plot area. I don't think I need that. I give a point. That is a point. Yeah, in God knows which coordinate system. Pixels, I guess, if it's Cairo window. I probably should use a range here that tells me which coordinate system it is. And I think I just want to work in the coordinate system of CS. So I need my own range type. I don't think I have that yet. This is Cairo window range. No, let's begin with that then. For example, I have my own point. We might as well make a range here now. VG next. What? Invalid range. That's not gonna work, of course. This is nonsense. Okay, what is the default constructor of a Cairo window range? That is 0, 1. Okay. Construct range 0 to 1. And then we have double min and max. I don't think I have to add anything, or do I? Well, yes, because these are doubles. No. Nah. Suppose I want to use the same thing as for a point then, in terms of the type. That is, let's say, if we have a point and we pass something, and that is then in that coordinate system. And apparently we were using double. This came from the point. So then it is exactly the same as this. So I might as well use the constructor from that. So it's exactly the same Cairo window range, but now it's a template that tells me, the type tells me which coordinate system it is. Yeah, okay. Size no longer needed. And then we can go back there and say, don't use Cairo window range, use a range with the correct coordinate system, which then is the coordinate system of the current object. And this is the number of ticks on the visible part, right? The number of tick marks on the visible segments of the respective axis. Right, now set range then is going to be called also with range CS. We're going to print it like that. Well, that will work automatically. You can just assign it automatically. And then we calculate this. And calculate range ticks is using a double, I think. So, oh, it is using a range, but that is the base class, so that doesn't matter. So this should also already work. This is an static, yeah, so you can just call that, as long as I include plot area. See, I have the feeling we only need this now for calculate range ticks. But should I mention that? Whoops. Plot area. You comment it out, abbreviation. Oh, I'm using it also in a number of axes. Well, I won't mention it then, that we use it for just two things. Well, maybe I should. Okay, so this and number of axes. Otherwise, they include, looks like we want to use plot area. almost done, I would say. Just have to call set range now, which is being done here. That is nonsense. Set a range. So this isn't even in CS coordinate system. This is definitely pixel coordinate system. But this is also the function that I was fixing. So this function should be calling set range. And that here, what is this? We're at the top again. Brilliant. Okay, so I have to move those things at the top down. Set the range to be not just, totally not. Set the range to be the, set the range to what? To the visible part of the axis. In CS, that's a bit stupid, was it this means coordinate system, so I could do this, suppose. Yep, and I said before that is gonna be the width of the size, sorry, for the x-axis and the height for the y-axis. And this printing stuff. Now what it is printing here is the base class, if that is printable, but I suspect it is. So then we lose the fact, yeah, that it is which coordinate system it is. Which is, I don't really like that. So maybe you should add that. This thing does have a print on, which is always on, apparently, not just debug output. So I guess we should intercept that and print the axis in front of it. Yeah, I don't have that yet. I arrange the new header file. So you can print the coordinate system. Utils to string CS with a colon, and then call the base class print on. To print the range itself. That should work. Yeah, and theoretically it doesn't know what utils to string is. Oh, wait a minute. theoretically, because it has a print on, I have to do that has the has print on thing. Oh, now can I fix this? Well, we can only fix that after. So the thing that's being stored in a member variable is either this one or that one. And if it is not stored, then I want to recognize it. Well, I want to let's just set that one to 0 if it is not visible. I think that makes most sense. So I want this to by default be 0, 0. Zero means not visible. And then if set range is called, then it's going to be probably non-zero. Well, what happens if this thing can't figure it out? I don't think that will ever return anything less than 2 or something, or 5 even. Shift else. Yeah, if x is less than 1, multiply it by 10. And that should be then in the neighborhood of 10. If it's less than 2, multiply it with 5. I think there's going to be at least 5. Which is actually not that good for both the positive part and the negative part, and then only have 5 ticks. Damn it. I could just multiply the number of ticks by 2, I suppose, whatever this is returning. But only if the origin is visible. No, actually no. Let's say the origin is just visible, because the origin is at the edge of the window. Then it returns the correct value. But if the origin is in the middle, I want to double it. More or less, at least. Difficult. This returns 5 for the whole range, so that this was already working for an asymmetric visible axis. Why would it then not still work? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no. Actually, yeah, it's for the plot, of course. It's slightly different. No, let's try how it looks like first before I change it. So if that range is called anyway, then the range ticks is non-zero. So it hangs with false, or how do you say that, whether or not this is called. And currently I'm calling that both on X and Y axis. Yeah, so this loop does need to take that into account. So this can stay 0 initialize to mean like not visible. Yeah, so let's 0 initialize it. Now it's stored in this local array. And then I only want to call set range if it is visible. So if x-axis and then is well larger than 0, so could say unequal 0, but and then propagates the visibility to set range and therefore to number of ticks. Or whatever that was. Range ticks, yeah, okay. That's strange. I'm going to use unequal here. It would be a bit super silly if that ever got less than 0. Even better. Yep, and now we should have the debug output for the fact that set range is called. No variable conversion from QReal to double. Set range takes oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is still not good. I do need the values on the axis itself, not just the length. Get the 2 points where this CS axis intersect intersects with the window rectangle. And those points are in which coordinates? Hello. I don't understand the question, Arjit. Data entry. Well, we calculate the intersection with in pixels. So this is in pixels. We probably should have added that. The 2 points where the CSX intersected the window rectangle in pixels. So I already have it stored here as a line piece. A visible part in CS pixels. Yep. Why would I be interested in the length here then? I'm not really interested in the length. Nu, we just have to convert the points back to the CS coordinate system. And since they are on the axis, then we get something like 0, comma, and then the value that I need. Or the value that I need, comma 0. Which then means that actually the line piece is the one that detects if we skipped it or not. And that is a default constructed line piece, which we figured out in the beginning of the stream is uninitialized. Okay, so then back to the beginning of the stream. I already typed this there. You seriously have to fill this anyways. And well, with whatever is stored in it. What was it? A math. Yeah, a math line piece, of course. Could use any value, but let's use 0, 0. And this is not super interesting. Visible length. And then whether or not it is visible depends on, again, if the line piece begin and end is the same or not. In the end I can still use range ticks, I suppose. I still have to call set range then or not on the actual range. Maybe I can do that immediately. If I do it inside the loop, then we don't have that problem anymore. I think I did it outside the loop because I wanted to do the transform here for X and Y at the same time, which is necessary because it's a rotation. Well, it can include a rotation. I think both axes are necessary. Let's see, I need to convert 4 points, right? I need a piece of paper and a pen. So this is the window. This is my coordinate system. Then I have these points in pixels. Nah, I don't need both. Can do it per point. Don't have that. I have the inverse. Nah, I might as well. Sorry, let's create it. I need that here, so Actually not true. This returns was true because it's now inverted. And it converts from pixels to CS. Inverse doesn't do anything. It just sets that boolean. See, it toggles this boolean and then invert. It's just only the type is changed. Wait a minute. Is it returning even? No, that's not possible. It returns. Yeah, it returns a const reference. What? That is just too ugly, isn't it? So I make this one explicitly const, and why not? That is the constructor. This is the header already. Constructor. Yeah, and I can do here auto. Could leave out the const, but actually, yeah, of course, this returns an const reference always. And auto is never a reference, so if I do this, it's by value, copy by value, but now we can and therefore want to avoid that. So you can do this, and now it would be a const reference. It doesn't look like a const reference to me, like this, so might as well add const. Right, so yeah, I almost never want to change anything. All those local things are const. I don't know. I don't know why. But I just like to see that something is not changed afterwards. At the moment, I'm not totally consistent in it with it though, which is you know. This line is probably also const, and this is definitely const, and so on. Which I don't like. We consistent, I would say, but yeah. Anyway, now the const is there. Why would I remove it? Because it is const. I'm not going to change it. Okay, so I need this minimum value of the current axis in coordinate system coordinates. And if I had min pixels, then we could do that by multiplying with pixels transform CS. Then the pixels short circuit away, and we are left with min CS. And the same holds for the max. But then I need thus the minimum value in pixels, which is more or less impossible. At least that would be the distance between that point. This is a point. Wait a minute, man. No, this is not how. No, this is not what it is. This is simply the point. This is simply this one of these points, yeah. So one is the minimum and the other one is the maximum. Which is which? That totally depends on the rotation, doesn't it? Or doesn't? Or does it? We don't know. I'm not sure which one is the which one is which one. Let's use as naming for now the one that under a very small rotation is the minimum one. And minimum is the one at the top. What does intersections return? Intersection points. No documentation. Nobody knows. We can print it. We can print it. I'm going to print here what the values are of those points. P1 is P1 and P2 is P2. We can investigate what exactly happens. I'm not sure if this compiles now. What we needed to compile. Oh yeah, I didn't do that yet. Well, comment that one out then, because I don't know. And this is not going to work either. I can even delete all of this, I think. Well, definitely this. And in the end, set a range. Just whatever. It will come. Calls to set range. Look, it compiles. That did not draw anything anymore. The X's are gone. Where's my P1? And Huh? I don't see it. How is that possible? Yeah, surely we get here. Make it visible again. Oh. What did I change? Oh, I didn't commit. Oh boy. Oh boy. Huge changes have not been committed. So I can't see what I changed during this stream. I'll have to look at my stream back. I can. I could get my backup, restore the backup, and then see what I changed. I can't remember that. Can I not? What did I change? No longer calling set range at all. That's probably the reason. Yeah, I removed the set range from the top. Let's add it back. Oh, this now takes CS range. Yeah. I think I literally need to restore my backup. I don't think it changed super much, actually only this, and then added range.h. The rest is not changed, is it? No. So let's do copy, and let's do a move even. Coordinate system to new. And then restore the coordinate system for my backup, which of course I have no idea how, but hey, it's a good thing to every now and then test if your backup's still working actually. I did start a console, oh, it's over here, it's super small. Nobody knows. What the hell? I hate this so much. What the hell is going on here? This is normal. This is also normal. No. I guess this is the latest one. Let's use a source. This one is what we need to recover a single file. Borg. Let me go to this direction actually. I'll just do it here maybe. Yeah, why not? Borg. Extract. Repository path. I guess that would be this one. Double colon. The archive name. And then the path to file. Here, path to file must be a full path. For example, extract, and then it must begin with home kernel apparently. We get the projects all the way up till source / and then the coordinate system.h. This will extract a file in home blah blah blah. There might be a better way to extract with correct ownership and permissions. Oh, bad how to. But okay, we have the file back, I think. Totally owned by root. Oh, it worked. To do change owner recursive curl home. Find home, there it is. Move that file to the current directory. Remove home again without. It worked. It was fast, so it probably worked. Div. The div that I made, you can now see it. I think the smartest thing to do is just commit it. Can I compile this now? What? I don't think so. Yay, the red lines and the green lines, they are back. Let's commit this. Get status. New commit, modified content. So get status here. Get diff. That's a typo and I'm missing something. Get commit minus everything. Yeah. Get missing Pragma once and fix comment typo. Push. Ouch. Holy moly. Who did that? I was working with an old version, it seems. Yeah, not really WIP actually. It's more like added coordinate system. What the hell? I don't care. There we are. Loads and loads. Yeah, 4 of them. What? I would say no, we still don't know anything. There's 2 coordinate systems, of course. The green one and the red one. And then P1 and P2 are like P1 and P2. So there is a 0, 2 to 5, that is 0, x is 0, 2 to 5, that is 0, and that's the green one. And the 300 0, that's here. That could be the red one, but I don't think so. 300 450, yeah, it's green. So the 2 top ones is green. This is the red one. And then we have P1 is 0, 59.5. So that would be this one. And P2 is 600, 405.94, that's this one. So that is, the first one is the x-axis. That's a small rotation, I still call it the x-axis. Plus P1 is the minimum. And here we have the y-axis, and the question is then, is P1 still the minimum? 300, y is 0 in pixels, so that would be this point here. And that is the minimum, because the y-axis becomes bigger if you go down. And yeah, I have just that point. Okay, cool. So x-axis, y-axis, and min-max. And then my question is that still the case if I rotate, let's say 80 degrees? A game engine? No. Could turn into one, but I think it will not. No, it's a program that based on Cairo window, which is a library that I wrote a year ago or whatever. Which is, Cairo window allows you to draw lines and circles and stuff like that. in a window. And I'm adding now something that shows coordinate transformations between different coordinate systems. Using Cairo window to do the drawing. Now I've got what I was doing. Well, I want to change the rotation to, let's say, 80 degrees, something insanely big. Oh, actually, 80 is not big enough. I want to go beyond. Now, let's first less than 90, but closer to 90. See what happens to the values. Hey, Kotaro. You went. What is the expression? I'm just thirsty. I mean, you have this little thingy on top of the O. Is that to tell me that I'm saying it wrong? It's not Kotaro, right? It's Kotaro. How to pronounce that? Pronounce it. Yeah, okay. I think I did a make. And now we run it again. And now it's rotated 80 degrees. So this was my x-axis. And we have now the question, is this still the x-axis? And is this still the minimum? Okay, this is 169,0. That is this point. That is the x-axis. And it is the minimum. And this is the 0 to 10. That would be that one. That is the positive y-axis, so it's not the minimum. The minimum and the maximum did swap here, but it is still the y-axis. At least. Yeah, I only now see that. Or you just changed it because I kept saying it wrong. Good question. Normally, translation happens last, so. I think it's first rotated and then translated. But as long as you rotate around the correct point, it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, I think I can safely conclude already that the x and y axis probably just are in this order because the loop runs over it in that order. And yeah, this is definitely not the minimum. This point used to be here, right? So this is the y-axis. This is the positive y-axis. So this belongs to the maximum. That is, if I rotate this point back to CS coordinates, the red coordinates, then this will get a positive y value, and this will get a negative y value. And then we can for sure see which is what. So I just move it, move the new one over the old one. I'm slightly worried that I had disappearing. My coordinates disappear, but yeah, I can't really worry about that, can I? I just have to keep coding until I can call set, and I don't know. I want to know what causes it. But hey, if I can just move it back and then use the diff of git. Now we have the diff at least. The diff that causes it to disappear. And not just disappear, the whole function seemed to be not called anymore. That is kind of weird. This moves so... What? Touch. Coordinate system. Make... Okay, and then not just my coordinates are... The x's are gone. It doesn't even print that anymore. The values of P1. Why? What am I doing here? line style. Coordinate system. Yeah, so suddenly we don't have any intersections anymore. Huh? Then what changed? Oh, it's using range. It is using range. Oh, I get it. Yeah, okay. Okay, that is line 469 in that header. 469. Yeah, so in the beginning I was calling set range. We then filter this array. And I was using here the window size. The 600 by 450. And 1 or 2 days ago I was talking about this. And then they said it's kind of silly to use this because it's just, you know, what I pass here. And now we're going to change the range, so now it's really silly to use this. This is just 0 in pixels, the minimum values. And this is just window width and window height. You have the axis back, yay, and the P1s. Two P1, no, yeah, 2 P1s and 2 P2s. Should have called them R and D. Oh no, so it's R1D2, that's something else. So one of them is the minimum and the other one is the maximum, but we don't know what, so I'm just keep calling them P1 and P2 then. I have to create a point here. Point in pixels coordinates. And point is derived from okay, no points, need source point, math point, source point. Yeah, need double x and y, otherwise it won't work. And I want to store those points because I need them, I think, while I display. No, I don't. I just want a range. So I need I want to store the range. Yeah, that's what I want. What is unknown? Which code is unknown? I can show you. The point here, CS is just an enum for the three test coordinate systems that I have. And a point is then a point in that coordinate system, so the pixels coordinate system. The point is just a wrapper around an x and a y coordinate. And this is a notation thing that makes it very easy to understand. It's the transformation matrix that converts pixel coordinates to CS coordinates. Where CS is a template parameter. It can be any coordinate system. It's a template parameter of the coordinate system. So you have coordinate system class. Which coordinate system? Well, the CS coordinate system. And that's being passed the transform. So you can just convert back and forward between the either multiply by that one or multiply by that one and go back and forward between pixels and this coordinate system. So we want to go back from pixels to CS here. So in the Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I run this, visually it's also very easy. So yeah, we have this coordinate system, that's pixels, the window itself. This is 0, 0, this is 600, this is 450. And then we have this one, which is whatever, some coordinate system called Painter. And it is not just rotated, but also scaled and translated, everything. But it doesn't really matter. There's simply a matrix. There's a conversion between this one and that one. Now what I do is I convert this line, the y-axis, to pixels, pixel coordinate, and then calculate the intersection point with this rectangle. So I have now this point, and I do the same for the x-axis. So I have this point and this point in pixels. But if then I convert that back to the red, the Painter coordinate system, we will get for this point, because this is the x-axis for the red coordinate system. So this is going to be some value for x, comma 0, or almost 0, with round off errors. And this point is going to be somewhere on the negative y-axis. Yeah, so after converting back, I have those 4 points where I know that they are on the x and the y-axis of the CS coordinate system. Therefore, one of the coordinates will be 0, and the other one is the one that I need, depending on which axis it is. So we need, I want to extract a min and a max of the current axis. It kind of depends. So if x equals x-axis, then it's gonna be then it's the intersection of the CS coordinate system x-axis. So the y coordinate is going to be 0, and the x coordinate is going to be well, whatever value, the value that I'm after. So if it is the x-axis, I just need the x coordinate of this point in CS coordinates. Now, XT Phantom has nothing to do with how advanced it. Sorry, I wanted to make a nasty joke, but it failed half sentence. You're so lucky. I wanted to say it's nothing to do with knowledge. I think if you say advanced, it seems to mean knowledge. Oh, that's a good idea, yeah. Yeah, and then you can see how it is rotated. Yep, I can do that. But I'm going to add text to it as well. So then numbers and then it will have a little x and a little y at the positive x and y axis. Eventually. This is nonsense. X is X. I need the other one. And then maybe we can just rather use a dictionary thing. Axis. Okay, so in this case, min is that. It even looks more logical because now you would just use the same point. Pick either the X or the Y. Same thing, but written differently. So if this is the x-axis, then we take the x-coordinate, and the y-coordinate will be 0, and the other way around. But I don't know which one is minimum, so now we want to sort them. So now they're really good. And then we want to call set range with the current axis, for the current axis. So set range takes a range in CS coordinates for the given axis, and this range is, well, taking the constructor of this base class, so just min max as core. I might actually just know which function I call, so I might as well do it like this, min max. Are we calling set range now? Because that should give me debug output. And I don't see it. What's going on? No, I don't see it. Why is it not printing this? Or am I not looking good? It's not printing it. How is that even possible? Eh? What? Of course we get there. Do I have to run the debugger again? This is from chess. King plus rook versus king. I just get distracted every time with... well, not really distracted. It's more like I go from sub-project to sub-project. No, I expect to finish this rather quickly, and then I go back to the. Hell, I bought 2 new hard disks for the K plus R versus K, so that would be really waste if I didn't finish that one. Just to be able to especially read a file of 550 gigabytes very quickly. Well, quickly, in less than 5 hours. Yeah, it should be necessary. Normally it's necessary to put parentheses around the whole tertiary thingy. So for example, if you want to compare that with the tertiary thing, then you need to parentheses around this. This should not need parentheses. Okay, Kotaro. It sounds so weird. I know you as Kotaro. I'll do my best. Kotaro. Help me. Why the hell is this not calling this or not printing debug output? How is it possible that we would not get here? I'm just drinking something. It's called black currant bruisend. It's basically just water with a little bit of taste, I think, and then bubbles in it. If that's the sound that you meant. Oh, well, it is calling it 4 times. That is correct. But for some reason, it's not printing debug output. It's calling the wrong set range, I suppose. How is that even possible? I think the base class has a set range as well. Or not? No, I don't have a base class. This is inside coordinate system, which is not derived from anything. And it has a set range defined here. And it's using DC Cairo window. No, where are we? Well, that's the reason. Why am I using Cairo window here instead of notice? I copied this code from. Oh, I copied it. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. So debug channel Cairo window might have been copied more often. Oh, that was immediately the last one then. Grab GC Cairo window. Yeah, okay. It's always my fault, yeah. Every error. No, it's being called. So apparently it did pick the range. Well, we are calling it with this, which I find very strange. That cannot be correct. So 0 is the x-axis, and this is the x-axis. And apparently the x-axis runs from a -1 1/3 to +1 1/3. Well, clearly not. This distance is shorter than that distance. Why? I think I go to bed because 1, it's past 2 a.m. and 2, my back is hurting me like hell. I'm not sitting nice here in this chair. Everything hurts. Well, not everything. My back hurts. Well, not in a bad way. It hurts like muscle pain-ish, not nerve pain or something like that. It definitely feels like if I would go for a walk every day, then in a year it will be completely gone. Not that I will go for walks, of course, but you know, there is. I have this opportunity. I have the possibility to fix it if I wanted to. Still, it's not as bad as having something that you can't do anything about. Yeah, I should go to bed. How can I go to bed while these values are so nonsensical? Why? Why is this the same? Cannot be the same. I'll go to bed as soon as I fix that. As soon as I understand what the hell is going on here. So I call it the min max. Min and max are both the same value. For the same axis. So apparently the x coordinate of both P1 and P2 are the same. And the y coordinate as well. And that comes from transforming those things back. I just have to start printing these, I suppose. You found the error. You found the error. Ah, no. No, I don't see it. What is wrong with it? I think they are correct. Min and max are P1 and P2. And the x-axis is x and the not x-axis is y. No, that's true and false. If axis is x-axis, this is true. And then we go through the loop again, and then axis is y-axis, so then this is false. So then we switch from x to y. If axis equals y-axis, then we use this. And I refuse to put parentheses around this part, because I'm pretty sure that it cannot be it. Unless, of course, that is it. But yes, it's correct to use only x-axis. Okay, I'll just panic mode. I'll just put this here and then see absolutely no difference. That's not what you said, I know, but now I'm starting to doubt everything. Yeah, it's still the same, so that close parents are not needed. Oh, well, I did explain that, but I'll explain it again. So we have these 4 points, right? We have a loop that runs over x-axis. Axis equals x-axis, which is 0. And then the loop goes again, and then axis equals 1, which is y-axis. So the first time we go through the loop, we calculate these points. This point and this point. But we don't know if this is P1 and that is P2, or this is P1 and that is P2. And then we go again, and then we calculate P1 and P2 here, or the other way around. And those points are calculated in pixel coordinates. But if then I convert that back to the red coordinate system, and this being the x-axis, then this is going to be some value, comma 0, because, well, the y value is 0. And this is some value, comma 0. So I only need the x value. So I need the x value of this point and the x value of this point. And I need the y value of this point and the y value of that point, because the x coordinate is going to be 0, because it's on the y-axis. Yes? I'm going to print a lot more debug output. Yeah, that should be enough. Then we can see both x and y values. And yeah, I just think that the x value, if non-zero, must be different. And the same with the y one, if in the case of the y value, y-axis. Apparently that's not the case. I just don't get it. No. What the hell? I can't print something? Can't print a line piece. How lame is that? Math line piece. No. Nah. Should I be able to print everything? Yeah, theoretically I should. Let's say math has stuff like let's say point and line, and you have line piece, and yeah, Oh, you can also not. Well, I can print. I can print this. This includes point, and therefore the rest is not necessary. The other two. This also includes point, so I just need this. And then we even have that, so why not? The thing exists of, yeah, this full debug mode goes like this. Brace open from comma to 2. Because they are called from and to, and points you already can print. Yeah, so indeed, the y after conversion, the y coordinate is 0, and the x coordinate is indeed equal. Sorry, I'm a complete idiot. But at least I can go to bed now. Oh my god. This is the green coordinate system. It is the x coordinate goes from -1 1/3 for green to +1.1/3. Yes, that is correct. And the y as per definition runs from -1 to +1. Yay. And here is the coordinates of the red thing, and they are unequal. Yeah. So it is minus 0.79. That would be that one, and then this one is bigger, 1.24. Yay. And then here, this was at the top, so this was a negative, so it must be way more negative than positive. Yep, that's the case, almost a factor of 2. Totally works. Cool. So you see that the only thing that was wrong is that I already had to go to bed sooner than this, because I'm clearly not awake. Okay, well, hey man, it was nice hanging out again. I'll see you tomorrow maybe. I'm going to bed. Good night.